5, and mashallah, I think we can start the thing. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Today is Wednesday, the 4th of Zul Qaida, 1444, the 24th of May 2023. With the permission of all, I have the honor and privilege to introduce today's halqa number 1157, mashallah. Our honored speaker tonight is Ustaz Ahmad Ansary, and he's appearing for 118 times, 118, mashallah. Congratulations, Ustaz Ahmad Ansary. And his topic tonight is going to be lessons from the life of the mother of Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Mashallah, it's a very good topic, mashallah. And he will reflect, and all the sessions are full of information and full of knowledge that he imparts to the audience itself. May Allah bless you, Imam Ahmad Ansary, coming to our halqa itself. And we jump on to Imam Abu Yazid itself. And Imam Abu Yazid is going to be doing the Quran session, which was initiated by my Imam itself. Many, mashallah, we can talk about years ago. I think the Quran session is 616 itself. And Imam Abu Yazid is blessing for 318 times, 318 times, mashallah. Imam Abu Yazid, the thing that you have imparted to this halqa, all the halqa members do appreciate your presence in this halqa, and the way you have done so many times that you have finished one Quran and you are on way to the second Quran itself. Its request is being made to the audiences itself. It's going to be Surah number 3, Surah Imran, ayah number 52 onwards, if I'm correct on that. And I think he can figure out.
Yes.
And then we go to my Imam Chebli itself, who's still driving, looks like. He's appearing for 827 times, mashallah. And he does the tafsir and translation of the Aris Hadith itself. So I think that will do it. As regard the timeline goes, we have a Quran session of 20 minutes and 40-minute time start is for the speaker tonight, which happens to be Ustad Ahmad Ansary. And that will do it. The floor belongs to Imam Muhammad, if he's still there. Imam Muhammad, fadal, please.
جزاك الله خير برادر عبد المجيد وتقبل الله منا ومنكم إن شاء الله صالح الأعمال. شيخ أبو يزيد أخي تفضل يا أخي.
الله يزيد من فضلك يا شيخ وبارك فيكم جميعا إن شاء الله. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم. فلما أحس عيسى منهم الكفر قال من أنصاري إلى الله قال الحواريون نحن أنصار الله آمنا بالله واشهد بأننا مسلمون ربنا آمنا بما أنزلت واتبعنا الرسول فاكتبنا مع الشاهدين ومكروا ومكر الله والله خير الماكرين إذ قال الله يا عيسى إني متوفيك ورافعك إلي ومطهرك من الذين كفروا وجاعل الذين اتبعوك فوق الذين كفروا إلى يوم القيامة ثم إلي مرجعكم فأحكم بينكم فيما كنتم فيه تختلفون فأما الذين كفروا فأعذبهم عذابا شديدا في الدنيا والآخرة وما لهم من ناصرين وأما الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فيوفيهم أجورهم والله لا يحب الظالمين ذلك نتلوه عليك من الآيات والذكر الحكيم إن مثل عيسى عند الله كمثل آدم خلقه من تراب ثم قال له كن فيكون الحق من ربك فلا تكن من الممترين. فمن حاجك فيه من بعد ما جاءك من العلم فقل تعالوا ندع أبناءنا وأبناءكم ونساءنا ونساءكم وأنفسنا وأنفسكم ثم نبتهل فنجعل لعنة الله على الكاذبين. إن هذا لهو القصص الحق وما من إله إلا الله وإن الله لهو العزيز الحكيم. فإن تولوا فإن الله عليم بالمفسدين. قل يا أهل الكتاب تعالوا إلى كلمة سواء بيننا وبينكم ألا نعبد إلا الله ولا نشرك به شيئا ولا يتخذ بعضنا بعضا أربابا من دون الله فإن تولوا فقولوا اشهدوا بأننا مسلمون. يا أهل الكتاب لم تحاجون في إبراهيم وما أنزلت التوراة والإنجيل إلا من بعده أفلا تعقلون. ها أنتم هؤلاء حاججتم فيما لكم به علم فلم تحاجون فيما ليس لكم به علم والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون. ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ولا نصرانيا ولكن كان حنيفا مسلما وما كان من المشركين. إن أولى الناس بإبراهيم للذين اتبعوه وهذا النبي والذين آمنوا والله ولي المؤمنين. ودت طائفة من أهل الكتاب لو يضلونكم وما يضلون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون. يا أهل الكتاب لم تكفرون بآيات الله وأنتم تشهدون. يا أهل الكتاب لم تلبسون الحق بالباطل وتكتمون الحق وأنتم تعلمون. وقال طائفة من أهل الكتاب آمنوا بالذي أنزل على الذين آمنوا وجه النهار واكفروا آخره لعلهم يرجعون. ولا تؤمنوا إلا لمن تبع دينكم قل إن الهدى هدى الله أن يؤتى أحد مثل ما أوتيتم أو يحاجوكم عند ربكم قل إن الفضل بيد الله يؤتيه من يشاء والله واسع عليم. يختص برحمته من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. صدق الله العظيم.
جزاك الله خير شيخ أبو يزيد وتقبل الله منا ومنكم ورحم الله والديكم إن شاء الله.
آمين جميعا إن شاء الله.
ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يجعل مثل ثواب هذه التلاوة واصلة لروح والديكم ووالدينا ووالد المستمعين أجمعين إن شاء الله.
اللهم آمين يا رب إن شاء الله.
I don't know if Sheikh Hamad with us or not, or he can talk or not. Assalamu alaikum Abu Ahmad. I know he is driving now.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
تفضل يا أخي.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن سار على هديه إلى يوم الدين، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Our dear respected Imam, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, allowed me to greet all of you the Islamic greeting, and the meaning of this greeting to our viewer, locally, nationally, internationally, to say peace and the blessing of Allah be upon you all. And when we initiate this greeting in Arabic, Muslim to Muslim, we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Ya subhanallah, the two hearts of the reciter of the Quran Kareem, the heart of Fadilat Sheikh Abu Yazid and the heart of Sheikh Fuad al-Qassas, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them, and may Allah give them the long life to keep reading, reciting, memorizing, leading the Muslim Ummah through the Quran Kareem. Both of them are reciting the same ruba', reciting the same surah, and reciting the same part of the Quran Kareem 2 nights ago and yesterday and today. But the difference between the recitation of Fadilat Sheikh Fuad al-Qassas, he took the way to recite those verses as a tajweed, and that taken long time to finish the ruba'. But Fadilat Sheikh Abu Yazid, Jazallah khair, wa atala Allahu umrah wa barakallahu fi, he's still reading tartil, and mashallah, the ruba', it takes him maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. May Allah reward him. My reflection of tonight about one of the verses of this ruba', because I talked about some of the verses last night and the night before. Some of the people of the book include the people used to live in Mecca. They used to have 2 meetings. One meeting between themselves, and when they gather only in very small halaqah or small meeting or small gathering, they said to each other, go accept the Islam in the beginning of the day, which means today, tomorrow, anytime. But in the end of the day, I mean later on, a week or 2 weeks, go back to your religion. That will make the Muslim confused. And this is what I try to emphasize this verse very well to our youth, to our sister, to our brother, to everybody. Yes, some of those people, they don't accept the Islam as a faith. They don't accept the Islam as a religion. They don't believe in the oneness of Allah, but maybe they said, I am a Muslim, and we cannot say no to him or to her. But the Quran Kareem is very clear in this. Some of them, not all of them, some of them, after they became Muslim, they want but go back to their real religion. I mean, the religion they born with it and they practice it and no name. only to make the Muslim on the time of Rasulullah very confused. And I hope this point will be repeated again to be aware, are those non-Muslim who accept the Islam, somebody is taking care about them, somebody advise them, somebody monitoring them, somebody see if they are practice the Islam or not. And that is my point tonight. And as Imam Muhammad Chebli said, I am behind the wheel, but brother Abdul Majid, brother Iqbal Sheikh with me, he has helping me, inshallah ta'ala, may Allah reward him. Jazakumullah khair. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه يغفر لكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. الشيخ حمد جزاك الله خير وتقبل الله منا ومنكم وزادكم من فضله إن شاء الله. أستاذ أحمد السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, we are lucky to see you in 1 week to time.
Allahu Akbar.
Inshallah, inshallah, 1 week. We like to make 1 week for you, only special for Ustaz Ahmad al-Ansary.
Allahu Akbar. Jazakallah for your love.
Inshallah.
Bless you and reward you, inshallah.
Fadal, and forgive us, all of us in the car, inshallah. But we are listening. We are listening to you.
You are everywhere, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وأصلي وأسلم عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما نافعا يا كريم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. So may Allah reward everyone and bless this halaqah. Have more barakah in the attendees, especially the mothers who attend this halaqah. And I agree that sisters' schedule is busy. So after a long time, I thought to bring a topic. This will be quite interesting for the sisters. So there is a lot to learn from the stories of the Quran. So inshallah, for a week or two, we will be listening some of the lessons from the life of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam's mother. And inshallah, we will reflect on few ayat. Who was the mother, what happened. And this is a unique story. It's a small portion. I will relate a small portion concerning when baby Musa alayhi salam was born. And around that time, there was an environment of fear. It was an environment of fear when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, because some people informed Fir'aun that there will be a boy born in Bani Israel on whose hands your kingdom will be ruined. His name will be Musa. His name is Musa alayhi salam. So what did he do? Because he was a very, very arrogant oppressor, Taghiya, as we said. And he's the one who claimed that I am your Lord, أنا ربكم الأعلى. And ما علمت لكم من إله غيري. Other than me, there is no God. And he was ruling those people. He was very, very oppressed. And So when he heard that some boy will be the cause of his kingdom to be ruined, he ordered that all the female infant babies to be kept alive, but all the male babies to be killed. And basically his purpose was to make sure that he may be able to eliminate the boy whom about him he heard. Also, it says in the story that Fir'aun saw a dream that a fire coming from Bayt al-Maqdis side, and it burned some of the houses in Egypt. But the fire did not harm Bani Israel. So he called all his sorcerers and magicians for consultations. And he said, tell me about this dream. What does that mean? So they told him it might be about a boy who will be born in Bani Israel, and he will be the cause and the reason for destruction for the people of Egypt on his hand. So he said, that's why he ordered his soldiers to mark, go investigate, and find out from every house, if you hear that a male baby is born, to kill the infant male, and I have nothing to do with the females. Don't say anything. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has different plans. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he was born. And her mother was seriously concerned about her safety. And she is one of the women that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided her, inspired her, and gave her step-by-step instructions at a time when Musa alayhi salam's mother was deeply concerned, very much worried about the safety of her son. And before we begin, and we go to Surah Qasas, this story about this woman offers a very, very deep lessons, strong lessons about a woman's relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A quality that we call at-tawakkul, yani trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And trust when? Trust in the most difficult of times, when everything seems to be going against her. And especially when the issue is about the safety of a newborn. The safety, can you believe that? So each one of us, especially those who are mothers, if someone tells them that your newborn baby is in danger, and so she would do everything possible to make sure that the baby remains the same. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew her condition. So that's why her story is mentioned in the Quran, for us to read over and over and over again, to renew our status of trust in Allah. How conveniently we have yaqeen, a strong conviction in the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now there are different situations in life, if I were to put few of them. And when we go through the story, or reflect the ayat of the Quran, so there are different, every person, every family, every individual faces different situations in lifetime. So one we define as like a regular, normal, peaceful situation where everyone in the family is living a comfortable life. Everything is peaceful, no problem at all. And we are living a life of comfort and safety. The second scenario can be, it's the opposite, which is called a situation of adversity, where everything is totally against peace. So life is not peaceful. And peace and fear are two different things. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the giver of peace. And when He takes away the peace, then brings fear. So challenges, a person or a family is facing adversity in what? Adversity in life, and fear of life, in her dignity, in her family, in her children, wealth, property, any type of challenges and difficulties and problems. That's the second scenario. The third scenario is directly either safety or fear. And if people are living a life of safety, where there is amn, everything is peaceful, no danger, no risk to someone's life, dignity, iman, wealth, and health. The fourth, health versus sickness. So either we are healthy, living in good health condition, or we're sick. The fifth one, richness and poverty. Either we are rich by the order or will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah made us rich, gave us all the sources and resources and wealth, and our life is comfortable. Or we are facing poverty. Our sources of sustenance or risk is limited, and that's why we're having challenge in life. And number 6 is sadness versus happiness. For whatsoever reason we are sad, due to someone's sickness, due to someone's death, due to some other trouble in life, a family or a person is saddened, has grief and sorrow in the heart, versus being happy. And the last possible scenario is that the person is feeling anxiety, despair, disappointment, hopelessness versus hope. So either you have hope that everything is okay, or there is some trouble going on at this time, but my yaqeen says, inna ma'al usri yusran, with every difficulty there is an ease. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to keep me in trouble, in difficulty, and as a result of difficulty, I am facing anxiety, fear, depression, but sooner or later it will go away. So things are back to normal. So in summary, there is a normal, comfortable life versus adversity in any area in life, fear or safety, health versus sickness, richness versus poverty, sadness versus happiness, and the last one is disappointment, loss of Hope versus hope. Now, look, the third point is all these situations are primarily tests from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests people by keeping them into all these possible 6 to 7 situations. And the test differs according to the level and the status of person. So the Anbiya alayhi salam, prophets of Allah, their test was so difficult. Our tests are not so difficult, but we give up. Like, for example, long sickness comes in and we started being disconnected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The test is like Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam was given a test to slaughter his son. That's a big test. Or he was thrown in the fire. That's a big test. Or the test of Anbiya alayhi salam, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam's test. All through Makkah life. So many tests, difficulties. People are insulting, abusing, hurting him. All these were tests. So Allah tests people. That's Allah's plan. Now, when the test fell on a woman, now the notion is, there is a notion. It's claimed that men are stronger by their will, and women are kind of weak. But the history, we learn from history, there are so many women who turned out to be very, very strong, like a rock. Very strong. They took the challenge very bravely with the power of their trust in Allah. They did not grieve. They controlled themselves. Being a woman, in the past, men used to provide shelter and safety to women. But some of the women, they may not find enough safety and shelter, but on their own, they became very strong from inside. Guess what? Based upon their connection with Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthened their hearts and gave them the full yaqeen that yes, if we are now being tested by fear, difficulties, sickness, sadness in our lifetime, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remove this situation and bring me my health. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew the situation prevailing in Egypt at that time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew the Musa alayhi salam's mother's condition and how she is feeling when a newborn baby is born and the outside environment is not safe, where there is a clear instruction from the evil king to eliminate all the male babies. Now she is really, really concerned, worried about the safety of her son, baby Musa alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did something to comfort her. If you have your cell phones and you have your Quran, so you can open page number 385, Surah Al-Qasas. Surah Al-Qasas. So inshallah, we will review, it will reflect some ayat. If you look at the Quran, inshallah, you will enjoy it. إن فرعون علا في الأرض. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Fir'aun became like higher. He claimed that I am A'la, I'm higher. I am Lord. وَجَعَلَ أَهْلَهَا شِيَعًا, and he divided his people into different groups. يَسْتَضْعِفُ طَائِفَةً مِّنْهُمْ, weakening a section of people, persecuting them, torturing them. And then يُذَبِّحُ أَبْنَاءَهُم, he started killing their babies, male. وَيَسْتَحْيِي نِسَاءَهُم, and leaving the females. When? At the time when they are born. How barbaric, how cruel he was. Just because he was looking to find a baby, his name will be Musa, because his Sahara and Kahana, the musicians and informed him that this baby will be the source of your kingdom's downfall. إِنَّهُ كَانَ مِنَ الْمُفْسِدِينَ, indeed he was among those mischief makers who was creating trouble. Then we go further, ayah number 7. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired to the heart of the mother of Sayyidina Musa. Look, instruction came to her because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saw the condition that this mother is living a life of fear, and often facing disappointment, feeling like depression. How am I going to do? What am I going to do to save the life of my baby? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to help her. So he said, وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمِّ مُوسَى, and we inspired her. We have, it's not wahi, like the wahi Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to prophets, but it's like putting a message into her hearts. And then instructions, unique instructions came. Number 1, an ardi'ihi, that's the first instruction. He said, as of right now, O mother of Musa, continue to suckle him. Keep giving him milk, because it's a baby. But then if the situation worsens, or if you don't feel safe by keeping him at home, then I am telling you what to do. فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ, فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ, if you feel fear about him, that he will not remain safe in the household, because Fir'aun announced a search about the infant babies, male babies, to be caught, and you don't feel comfortable. فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ, then what do? The second instruction, فَأَلْقِيهِ فِي الْيَمِّ, then put him in the box and cast him into the river. Can you believe? Ask a mother, a newborn boy, a newborn baby, she is putting him in a box and putting the box into the Nile River. Yeah. River so big. and how the mother feels when she is handing over her newborn son in a box into the ocean. فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلِيهِ. And then because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew that Musa alayhi salam's mother is so much fearful, so the third instruction came. وَلَا تَخَافِي. No fear. Don't worry. Yani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave her a guarantee so that she can control her heart. He said, I am. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving their guarantee for the safety of her baby. He said, وَلَا تَخَافِي. And then Allah knew that he may be sad because she is separating her baby from her. So the fourth instruction, لا تحزني. Don't feel sad. Don't feel fear. Don't feel sad. And the fourth one, إِنَّا رَادُّوهُ إِلَيْكِ. I am asking you at this time, put him in the basket, cast him into the river. Don't feel sad. Don't feel grieved. We are going to return this baby to you. So based upon Allah's promise, Musa alayhi salam's mother felt stronger. See, guarantee is coming from where? Not from her father or mother, or like a relative, like uncle, like auntie, or like a doctor. Directly from Allah. How unique is Allah is from the heaven, from the seventh heaven, directing step by step what to do to a woman living on earth. Inna radduhu ilayki. Just to make sure that her heart feels comfortable. She overcomes her sadness, controls her fear. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told her, don't worry, we're going to return your baby safe and sound. And not only return, وَجَاعِلُوهُ مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. We're going to make him a prophet of Allah. And subhanAllah, good news of prophethood from the time of childhood. This baby is an infant. Very small, newborn. So let's watch this ayah again. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمِّ مُوسَى. And we inspired to the heart of the mother of Musa. What? One, أَنْ أَرْضِعِيهِ. Continue to suckle him. Keep on offering him milk. فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ. If you feel fear, فَأَلْقِيهِ فِي الْيَمِّ. Put him in the box and cast him into the river Nile. Fourth, وَلَا تَخَافِي. No fear. You don't need to fear. 5, وَلَا تَحْزَنِي. Don't be sad. Number 6, إِنَّا رَادُّوهُ إِلَيْكِ. Don't worry, we're going to return. You are going to get your boy back. And number 7, وَجَاعِلُوهُ مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. And we will make him a prophet of Allah. Now, Do we think that Musa alayhi salam's mother is being tested? Of course. Her iman is tested. Her level of her reaction. So, for example, if I hear, or any one of us hear, that someone say, oh, you're worried? Put your baby into the basket and put him into the river. Can we do that? No. So there is a difference between action and reaction. So Musa alayhi salam's mother reacted positively. How? After she got assurances from the Rabbul Alameen. Rabbul Alameen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told her, step by step, do this, then you do this, then you do this. So she became stronger, confident, and her trust level increased. That's why in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala often says, strengthen your trust in the promises of Allah. And that comes with holding, strengthening my relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, the basket is floating. Imagine, there is big wide river, water everywhere. There is a basket, and inside the basket there is a handsome, living, beautiful, newborn baby is inside. And the boxes. So sometimes when I read this, it looks to me like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put like a kind of a GPS system in the basket. So the basket was not going random. Can you believe if I say water can take anything, whatever it wants to? Maybe sometimes sink inside. Or a mouth comes in, a wave. It goes upside down. But then guess what? The box kept on moving towards the section belonging to the wife of Fir'aun. We can imagine, like you say, in the back of the palace where Mar'atu Fir'aun, or Asya, radiallahu anha, the wife of Fir'aun was a believer. So the basket went inside where women can access, or the staff of the wife of Fir'aun were able to access the basket. So فَالْتَقَطَهُ آلُ فِرْعَوْنَ فَالْتَقَطَهُ آلُ فِرْعَوْنَ. The family of Fir'aun, iltaqata means when you physically pick up something. They saw something unusual. They saw a basket is floating over the river. They got curious. They said, we got to catch this basket, man, and open and see what it has. فَالْتَقَتَهُ آلُ فِرْعَوْنَ. And the family of Fir'aun picked him up out of the river, so that he would become to them an enemy. لِيَكُونَ لَهُمْ عَدُوًّا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to make Musa alayhi salam an enemy to them. They didn't know that. No one, subhanallah, in the palace knew that this could be the same boy who Fir'aun was thinking that will be the cause of his kingdom to be ruined. Nobody knew his name. Also, we need to ponder for a few minutes how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala subhanallah told Musa's mother to do something completely unusual, and because Fir'aun was causing trouble and destruction, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the enemy boy straight to his palace. He will grow with you because you think you are the enemy. I will have the boy grow under your nose, because you're killing all these infant male babies. But then how I would like to save Musa from your curse and anger and enmity by being with you. فَالْتَقُتْ آل فِرْعَوْنَ لِيَكُونَ لَهُمْ عَدُوًّا وَحَزَنًا. And this way, Musa alayhi salam landed in Pharaoh's palace. Now, a separation took place between the mother and the baby. Now, can we imagine after casting him into the river, she must have put Musa alayhi salam into the river from some other place, maybe away from the palace. And the basket must have taken some time at least to swim or to reach the back of the palace. Yeah, Musa's mother didn't know anything. She was completely separated from her infant, newborn baby. And as soon as she started feeling, she felt uncomfortable, she felt sad, but then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already gave her guarantee of safety for the baby and all these 8 instructions that we now we go for the brother Abdul Majid. How many minutes do I have?
You have another 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. All right, so I just have to complete one section, inshallah, and then we are finishing, inshallah. When Fir'aun's wife opened the box, to her extreme surprise, she was astonished. Dahja. Opened, nothing came out from the basket except a handsomely looking, beautiful male baby inside. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, she was a woman, subhanallah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed rahmah, mercy, love and compassion in the stranger woman for this stranger boy. So she was to me, she was a very, very smart lady, as I read. And those ladies, and mashallah, you are all mothers, you are smart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes mothers smart because of the nature of their status. Do not ever think that your status is so high. Just one example. And what I'm sharing with you, you need to tell every single child from your family. In Surah Al-Isra, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says something so proud, so powerful about the parents. that he Azza wa Jal did not say about anyone else. From all the creations, he said these two are supreme. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what he said? وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ. And your Lord has decided that you do two things. Number one, أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ, that you worship none but Allah. And right after that, what he said? وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. And make sure that you deal with your parents with kindness, with ihsan, with love, with obedience. And where it is mentioned? Right after commanding the believers to worship Allah. So first he mentioned about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about himself, and then he brought the mention of the parents. So you mothers are very, very high status you have. You're very powerful. You're very, very influential and impactful. And the reason is that that's why you were given a job to raise children. And when you say raise children, raise generations. So when you hear that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the mother of Musa about all these, mention to your children some of the lessons. So as soon as she understood the situation, she got the initiative and she went to Fir'aun, the first person. She wanted to talk to him first. What did she talk to him? We're going to discuss next week, inshallah. So we'll finish here. I hope, inshallah, you have enjoyed listening. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Imam Muhammad. And Sister Hala has raised her hand.
Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khair.
Wa alaikum salam.
I was just thinking about, I have a comment, but I'm not sure if I'm getting the gist or not.
Sure.
Since the beginning of time, they buried the girls, and the mothers, their heart ached. Now, during the time of Pharaoh, they were killing the boys. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved all of these, stopped us from our own destruction. Because without them stopping, whether it's the girls or the boys, we would not have the prophets that came after that time and to tell us what we needed to learn and know. So I was just thinking about the past.
Actually, one of the purpose of the Quranic stories from the past nations is not only to just say their stories, but also to learn their practices, their culture, and what they, how they were, what they used to do. And if there are some evil practices existing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran. So for example, killing young babies, female, that used to be very common in Arabia at the time of Rasulullah. So that's where Quran tells us about that. And Rasulullah informed us. But then these prophets were like thousands of years ago. And before Rasulullah. So Qawm Ad, Qawm Samud, or Qawm Lut, they were involved in different types of evil practices. The Quran tells us what people of Lut used to do, what Fir'aun, Musa alayhi salam's time, or was the evil practices, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent those messengers to tell them about these evil practices to abolish. So I think this is for us to take lessons and to take ibrah. Jazakallah.
Ustad Ahmad Ansary, I have a comment on this.
Sure.
You're just dealing with Surah Al-Qassas right now as we speak.
Surah Al-Qasas, yes.
And there are 88 ayahs in it. I'm sure that you know better than me.
No, we were gonna deal only for ayah number
Up to 9. Up to 9.
I chose some selected ayat
Right.
that has the story. So ayah number 7, we did ayah number 8 partially. Tomorrow we will, next week we'll do ayah number 9.
Okay.
And then ayah number 10. And ayah number 11 and 12. It goes to number 13. So it will be at the last point where Musa alayhi salam was back to his mother. That's where we end. And the purpose of sharing these ayat is to bring us some lessons so that we can strengthen our conviction and yaqeen more stronger. So that's why أولئك الذين هدى الله, the prophets of Allah, they were guided people. فبهداه مقتدي. So we have been commanded that you take the lesson from their guidance as an example. So them themselves and their wives. Although Musa's mother was not a prophet of Allah, but as a wife of Fir'aun, as a wife of Musa alayhi salam, she offered strong lessons from her lifetime for sisters and even for men, because we need the trust and the woman needs a trust. So the lesson is coming. Jazakallah for your comment.
How come, it is a life operating manual given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, step by step.
So,
and you highlighted each and every step.
I have a different, like maybe a weird answer. Okay. So someone asked me about the same type of question long ago. So I said, instead of giving him a simple answer, I asked him, do you know something is called compatible? It's like a computer terminology. So like, for example, this DVD is compatible with the device. It doesn't work here. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by giving us Quran, gave us something which is super compatible in every age, in every time, in every land, every period of time, from the beginning of time till the end of time. This book of Allah becomes super compatible. So even if you're living in, like somewhere in a village in India, or you are living in the most advanced country like US, or you are in France, or you are in Africa, and you were born 100 years ago, or you will be born in the next 100 years, Quran is valid all the time. Current offers you and will continue to offer you practical solutions to your problem, because it's the divine book of guidance. And people will be discovering more. according as we progress. And someone was asking me, Brother Ansary, how about the youth? I said, Quran talks to the youth directly. But the question is, we need to know how to talk to them. That's an art. So if we, and there are numerous ayat, I search myself, that if you know the art of presenting to the teens or youths today, it will be perfectly fine. A good dialect. But it's an art. So I admire your when you are curious about this, I admire that.
Yeah, this is just like a manual
Exactly.
given to her by the faith she has in taqwa she has in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah.
And step by step, she did the same thing. I'm talking about the mother of Musa,
Yeah.
real mother.
Yes.
And she took a risk. And now I think next time you'll be talking about the second mother who is going to get her from the sea. And she's called is a Quratul Ain. I think.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a great story. So I think I have a suggestion for the audience. If you want to continue this thing, go through Surah Qasas yourself, mashallah, research through it. And I think you presented very well the relevant point itself, as you got the state of mind of the mother, real mother of Musa, mashallah.
Yeah, so now, actually, Brother Abdul Majid, to me, Quran, the entire Quran is something, when we present something, we need to visualize the scene, because we are not living, or we are not born at a time when Quran is revealed. It's 1500 years ago, and this is 2023. And we are not living anywhere, but we are living here in the most sophisticated land of technology. So if you visualize, like for example, I spoke about Sayyidina Maryam and how baby Isa is born. Someday, inshallah, we will talk about it. So I mentioned to a group of ladies, I said, look, when a baby is being born, what's a normal custom? Go to the doctor, get yourself tested, hospital, nurses, medication, this, that. And nothing happened to this woman. She was all alone. And Allah did the same method of instructing him 1, 2, 3, 4 directly to help her deliver the baby safely. It's amazing.
Yes.
So when I mentioned about this, some older ladies told me, Brother Ansary, we in the town, we are the ladies who do the Dars al-Quran. But when you talk to us at Maryam, it looks like we are watching some TV. We're watching the story on the TV. So when you visualize and you compare and you contrast the situation, you will understand more.
Did you consider comparing both the mothers?
Say it again?
The real mother and the adopted mother, the mother she adopted, right? She lifted up the baby and now she said, he's going to be our Qurrat land. By the same token,
well, inshallah, now you have to have patience until next Wednesday.
All right, okay. The next time, I think. And next time, inshallah, we shall just have that. Thank you.
Inshallah.
MashaAllah.
All
Thank you for your help. The floor belongs to Imam Muhammad, if he's still there. MashaAllah. Imam Muhammad. So if Imam Muhammad's not there, we can request Ustad Ahmad Ansary to do the dua itself. And I think we can end the session. MashaAllah, I think that was well done.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل عليه في الأولين وصل عليه في الآخرين وصل عليه في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين اللهم صل عليه في كل وقت وحين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. O Allah, make us have strong iman, good akhlaq to lead our life. O Allah, make us among the people of the Quran. help us to understand those stories mentioned in the Quran and try to initiate a process of change into our lives so that our level of strength of decision making is based on our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that Allah make us among those whose trust and tawakkul on Allah increases in all the promises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Quranic stories are divine stories mentioned for us to read them over and over and over again and continue to guide our life and decisions by those stories. Allah accept our effort and reward us for all those who attended and who listened to it carefully. Allah make us share those stories with our children, with our families and friends, and make us better Muslim in our life. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وجزاكم الله خيرا والسلام عليكم.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ustad Ansary, job very well done. So the last thing that we always do is the Surah Al-Asr.
والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.
Jazakallah khair. See you guys tomorrow and see you next time. And the same on Wednesday, right? Always Wednesday?
Wednesday. I'm trying to, inshallah, change the day, but not now.
All right. So next Wednesday, we shall see you then.
Inshallah.
Right. Jazakallah khair again.
Yeah.
See you guys tomorrow, inshallah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming.
وإياكم.